Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai 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 Ram Om Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Pranam, 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 pranam. Yes, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. We have been hearing about the 18th chapter. It is so exhaustive that it is difficult to give a synopsis of it. But he, having made it clear through 17 chapters, normally one would feel, it is enough. They can straight away go to the synopsis. But here we find the Lord is enumerating the whole thing. Touching about jnana, touching about karma, touching about gunas, touching about values. whatever he has mentioned in all the 17, again a quick recap, again and again and again, and then gives importance to bhakti, devotion, and surrender. Cautions us that we should be vigilant, alert about the roadblock, the me and mine. This is how he starts explaining what is Tyaga and what is Sannyasa, right from that, 70. So yesterday and finally, that particular shloka, Sarvadharman Parityajya. He brings about, so if we are to take, each one can take in their own way. Suppose in one word, one aspect that stands out, we can say that our mind should become a refinery. And here in this, there are the excavation will bring out two types of revelations. One is that we try to identify the subtle and mysterious power behind everything. Swami Ranganathanji put it as three: efficiency in action, quality, care and concern for others, and peace of mind. So this peace, peace eternal is inside, So our before we react to anything, even before we or while we do sadhana, we say certain things as sadhana in our mind. All activities are sadhana only, but unknowingly, unwittingly, we have labeled a certain thing as worldly and the certain things as sadhana. But again he wishes, you are a part of the whole. As long as you have got an embodiment, as long as you have got an individuality, you have to bother about, you have to become sensitive to the demands and suffering of the entire creation in and around you. Not only limited to human beings. This is emphasized. The 18th chapter, if we are to understand in one nutshell, we have to prepare our mind, we have to convert our mind into a refinery, and we adopt. What are the tools for our drilling? He emphasizes on knowledge, not the textual knowledge. A knowledge comes out of manana, contemplation, reflection. Anything, before we react to anything. These three should be there with us. We should be conscious that he is giving us, because in one of the slokas he specifically says, in whatever field we are engaged in, through that field we can attain him. Not that we have to set apart a special. Any work. 46. What does Swami say? This is also a very important word. Worshipping Him, worshipping God with one's own work, a person attains perfection. And who is he? It is from him the evolution starts. He is the all-pervading reality. By worshipping him with one's own work. We should know 18th chapter, 46th sloka. Through that, he makes it very clear. No field is taboo, no field of action is taboo, no action is taboo. So we have to bring in the dimension of efficiency, that's all. Excellence. This is the central message. Suppose we can say, this could be the central message. Think about it, please. We have been hearing this in-depth study. First round we are coming to a close. But at the end of it, everyone should remember what is the take-home message for me. So we suggest, first is whatever field in which he places us now, through that particular field of action, we can attain him. Whether we are a samsarin, whether we are a sannyasi, whether we are a professional, whether we are a social being, whether we are in household work. Through any field which God has given to us, we bring out perfection, we become aware of Him, and then work becomes worship. And He has not specified any work, He says. So the first one, 18th chapter take-home message is, first one is that any work that we do, any field that He has put us on, anything in which we are engaged, we try to remember Him. It is He who has given this to me. I am only a puppet. I am only an instrument. Whether I work in the office, whether I draw the salary, whether I do business, whether I am involved in cooking, maintaining my household, whether I am responding to certain needs of the society, in whatever field I am, in my heart I should know that this is being offered to Him. So with all excellence, with all dedication I offer to Him, then Lord assures that He will reach me. Second thing is, before we try to react to any events and individuals, we should try to analyze the various aspects of it. That is why he said, the word used was refinery, So we try to go through it. What does it contain? Here Papa's quotation helps us. So far probably we have been, most of us, who are in the senior citizens, we have had enough experience. We have had enough exposure. We had access to many branches of knowledge. But so far we treated only at the individual level. Now we are trying to take them, sit back in retrospect. We try to bring such other things that gets marked in our mind, that they were all wise tuitions given to us by Him. So with this we have to do this refining process. Whatever experiences, whatever observation God has made us to observe, God has made us to go through, okay. Whatever observation, whatever experiences God has facilitated us to have, We take it as the tools to refine. That means based upon the experience, based upon the observation, we try to refine our thought. A thought which was only thinking about me and mine, a thought which is caged in this me and mine, a thought which is a prisoner of this conceptual boundaries. We are trying to refine it based upon the experience or the observation God has facilitated so far, and then bring out in the form of efficiency, at the same time not detrimental to the interest of any other creation. And number 3, ultimately, Him who is peace. Whether my reaction is taking me toward the peace or moving away from the peace. Peace not only to me, peace to everybody else. At the moment, to us, these are the take-home message. And a few are added whenever we need any guidance, apart from the experience and observations. He also gives us some clues about the sattvic, rajasic and tamasic type of actions, knowledge, karma, jnana, passion, buddhi, dhriti, the will, happiness, and the division of labor. These 3 have been divided, which is sattvic, which is rajasic, which is tamasic. It will give us some idea. By reading it, we will not. But doing manana, with reference to what we have so far done. Because our gunas, our swabhava will not easily permit us. By reading, okay. So that will also give us some clues. So what is more needed is manana. Because at the end, today we will take up the last 3 or 4. After having told all these things, and finally he says, when you hand yourself over to me, totally, I will take care. I will relieve you from all downpulling tendencies. Don't worry about it. I take care. So now 3-4 things, One is that whatever work we do, through that work we can attain Him. Until such time, before we react, we subject ourselves to bring into our mind all the experiences so far He has given us, all the observations He has made to do that, and what we have extracted from it. Because it is not academic knowledge, it is experiential knowledge. At that time we had reacted, and we may feel grateful to the person or the circumstances, we have forgotten. But now we know, no. Those are all the factors, contributory factors for refining myself. So God made me to go through that experience. At that time I was not conscious that it is going to help me. It is to help me that He has made me to pass through. In this chapter also he says, at first it may look to be amritam, but later on it will become poison. Suppose at the face of it, it may look poison, but later on we find it is amritam. There are so many such points he has given. So let us not run after what is outside. Let us not be guided by what is visible, what is the manifested part, outer appearance. Let us not be carried away by the outer appearance. It may look to be something that may give us joy. No. Later on it rebounds on us. But initially, when we are made to go through painful experiences, though we want to avoid it, later on we find it has helped us to know that we can tackle the situation by His help. He has given us the wherewithal, He has given us the strength, He has given us the will, the power. So it is for that purpose. So that is why He said, outwardly it may look poison, but later on we will find it is amritam. All these things are in 18th chapter, I tell you. But suppose we do the churning and finally it comes to these three. Through any work, we can attain. Whole soul, treating it as his own. Worshipping Him, when we do that, we will attain Him. Second thing is, before we react, we make it to pass through a process, an inward process, an inner process, with the help of experiences and observations which God has facilitated us to have. And based upon that, we come out with our reactions. And the litmus test is that it will be a form of excellence, it will be in the form of hitakaram to everybody, beneficial to everybody, and it will ultimately end in a peaceful state of mind for me as well as to others. And then the third message he gives us is, if you surrender yourself totally to me, I take care of your entire I liberate you from everything. I free you from all that is binding you. And expansion from the individual to the universal, it gets hastened, and ultimately we will become one with Him. So when we keep on churning the 70 to 73 slokas, it can be 0 to these 3 or 4. And we will now go through the remaining touching portions. It's also very important that we should not impose anything to anybody. So he says, Kachide Chitram Partha Tvaekagrena Chetasa. Oh, no, sorry. Correct. Kachidajnana Sammoham Pranashtaste Dhananjaya. Has this been heard by you? Has this been heard by you, O Partha, with an attentive mind? Has your delusion caused by ignorance be destroyed? Because 3-4 stanza before he said, these are all the things I place before you. Think over it and then act as you get from the inner prompting. Again he is asking this question. He is directly asking, Arjuna, did you listen to me? That means through Arjuna he is asking us, have you listened properly? remove Arjuna, place ourselves there. Have you been able to grasp the theme with your one-pointedness? Has your delusion caused by ignorance been destroyed now? Then Arjuna answers. That means we should answer. What do we answer? We say, sorry, we don't remember anything. You keep on hammering, we will try. Our progress is something like a snail. So here Arjuna says, Nashto moha smritir labda Tat prasadan mayachyuta Stitosmi gata sandeham Karishye vachanam tava. Beautiful. Destroyed is my illusion, and I have gained my memory through your grace. I am firm. My doubts are gone. I will do exactly as you have told me. Sri Krishna had earlier told, I have told you the highest philosophy, now decide for yourself. Yatechasi tata guru. Whatever you think proper that you do. Sri Krishna had given Arjuna full freedom. Arjuna is now telling, my delusion is vanished. So now he is making all of us to remember. Can we say that? No. Why? Every discourse he gave, it was very impressive, convincing, rational, logical. Everything is there, but still what happens to me? I have been trying to hear it with all Shraddha, with all attentiveness. But still at the end of this, when we hear, will we be able to repeat the word which Arjuna repeated? That all delusions have been cleared. So no. So we are trying to ask ourselves, why do we? What happened to us? Why are we not in a position to say exactly the same words like Arjuna? Why are we not in a position to say that everybody can contribute their thoughts? Why is it that we are not in a position to say exactly the same word? What is the word? I am clear. Have we in a position to say that? Let us be honest. No.
Because I am not understanding.
This is correct. You are right. Tell me. Why we have not been able to say exactly like Arjuna?
Because I don't have the clarity still, Swami. I still don't have the clarity. I can't say so many things that I said. Like, I can't say that I'm not the body. I'm not convinced about it.
Yes. Anybody else?
Swamiji, மனசு அவ்வளோ ஸ்டெடியா இல்லை.
அதனால கம்ப்ளீட்டா புரியலை.
கேட்கறச்சே நல்லா இருக்கு. அப்புறம் அனலைஸ் பண்றோம். கொஞ்ச நேரம் சமத்தா இருக்கு எனக்கு. அப்புறம்
பழைய மாதிரி போறது
ட்ரை பண்றோம். ஆனா கூட
correct. We are convinced, no doubt about it. But we cannot say that we are pinna practical experience only we were hearing. சரி, then
அப்ளை அந்த சிச்சுவேஷன் வரும்போது அப்ளை பண்ணுமா அப்படின்றது கூட
so now see, even the answer of Arjuna, it makes us to think so many things. We not because we have less faith in Krishna or less faith in all these words, but somehow we are not in a position to absorb or assimilate and transfer this to a part of our being from the knowledge level.
When Arjuna says there's a lot of conviction, I don't have that conviction.
We have to try. Okay. Let us not be pessimistic. No, let us be optimistic. Because now we have not taken it up so seriously. When he said, what is that? At all times we should remember him and then fight. That we forgot. Is that the reason? We are finding out now that we have not been able to remember him. Is that the reason why we cannot
We can't hear my, you have to speak loudly.
After fight, we are remembering God.
After something happens, we are remembering God.
You are right. Not while acting or before acting, we have not been able to remember him. After acting, probably, yes, he makes us to remember. Yeah, that's right. So we are now praying to him. You now made us to hear these words. You now made us to know all the different aspects of life. You made us to know how to refine everything and ultimately surrender. You made us know everything. But still, since we are not exclusively applying our mind on you, the mind has not been able to get fully convinced about it. That is not the right word, not convinced. We are convinced. Everything is logical, rational, 100%. The intelligent way in which you have put everything is we can understand. But what is that blocks us is that we are unable to remember. If we are able to remember you, or remember means that we don't mean a comprehensive remembrance. At least remember him so that we will plead with him, before we act. Now, what should I do now? This. Somebody has raised a point. What should I do now? Somebody has wounded me. What should I do now? Somebody has offended me. What should I do now? At the individual level, somebody made me to lose certain things. What should I do now? Am I doing this?
I found myself selfish.
Think about it.
Selfish. I remember him.
1 minute.
I remember him, and then I still don't do it.
And then?
I remember him and still don't do it.
I remember him, still don't do it.
I'm selfish, and
Achha.
I want my result.
That is one aspect. But don't you think that when we remember him, if we have more and more clarity about him, the very remembrance will make us to put us on the rails. We are moving away from the track because we don't remember. We only remember us. If we remember, what does it mean, remembering? That he is behind every thought, every word, every deed, every situation, every emotion, every sentiment, every decision. If I become, that is called remembrance. We don't mean any other thing. By remembrance we mean that it is from him everything has projected. Even this doubt in me has projected from him. So he has made me to. Eh? Eh? Now somebody raised from here that they remember but unable to hold on. So why, so we feel, again we have to do a lot of thinking. We at the moment feel that by remembrance, what is meant is that we try to remember him who is behind all our thoughts. Not as an entity, not as an ideal, but the very subtle and mysterious power who is behind everything. That means I am not initiating from the me and mine level. When I initiate from the me and mine level, then it has not gone deep into me. He makes me to deal with from that level. And the result will be at times, momentary happiness will be there, or it may be there for some time, but it is not everlasting. And we don't ensure whether it is detrimental to the interest of others or not, because we are only concerned about me and mine. But when I remember him, the whole thing changes. I cannot utter a word which will be harmful to anybody. I will not do anything which will go against the interest of anybody. I will not talk anything which will offend anybody. So let us try to think on these lines. If by the word remembrance, what exactly we mean? It is only a word, but what exactly we mean? Because we now, Arjuna touches and kindles in us. Having heard this 630 or 670 slokas, we will say 600 because 30 or 40 slokas will be the dialogue or something. So 650 slokas, he has been able to grasp, assimilate, and then make it a part of himself. So that is why he could declare that I am free from all delusions. We are unable to say because still the me and mine is prohibiting us or denying us to accept him. We are not disrespecting the words of God, of the Lord, but we are unable to accept it because we don't remember him. First the me and mine comes. So kindly think about it. This Arjuna's word itself is very, very important. He says, by your grace I have been able to get over thee. I have gained my memory through your grace. Remembrance. So that is the point, key point. We have not been able to say the same word as Arjuna said because we don't remember him. Let us see some more. All my delusion has been destroyed by your teaching. I am now steady. I have a steady mind now. This Thita idea has been repeated again and again. At the end of the second chapter, we had a whole exposition of Thita Prajna. That is how when and women develop their even psychic energy system to develop a highly illumined, steady buddhi, not vacillating, balanced buddhi. That is what we saw, My doubts finally have been cleared, and I shall do what you have asked me to do. I have no other judgment now. I am fully satisfied Why this weakness? Why this chicken-heartedness? When this is difficult, throw away all these unworthy, unbecoming attitudes, stand up, face up to your problems. That is the great message coming from the beginning of the second chapter. And so we seek philosophy in order to give us guidance in our day-to-day life. We seek philosophy, we seek Bhagavad Gita, we seek Ram Nam, we seek everything, only to give us guidance in our day-to-day life. This philosophy of life is very important. It does not mean any academic philosophy. Not at all. Philosophy is something by which we put our little actions of life in the context of a profound thought, a profound idea, a profound ideal. We put all them together. Then we get a philosophy to guide our life and action. It is good to have such an ideal, perfect, imperfect, it does not matter. A man with an ideal may commit 100 mistakes, but a man without an ideal will commit 1,000 mistakes, says Swami Vivekananda. So we have to keep some ideology, some philosophy with us. We have to make it as perfect as possible. Arjuna had a Krishna to give him the best of philosophy. We may take the help of the same teaching and thus frame each one's own philosophy in life. Beautiful word, no? Suiting to my. I cannot put into somebody's shoes. I have to stitch out, I have to produce my own shoes. Arjuna had a Krishna to give him the best of philosophy. We may take the help of the same teaching and thus frame each one's philosophy in life and correct it whenever we find better wisdom coming to us. But we should have a philosophy by which we can live and act. We should not live in ad hoc, day-to-day life. These are all wonderful messages. Ad hoc, that is very dull. There is no creativity in it.
I did not understand this ad hoc.
Ad hoc. Because that particular moment, what is the remedial measure? That we take it and then do it. Bas. We are in trouble, we go to the temple, we perform some pujas, we get over it. Ad hoc. When a problem comes, we go to a particular person, somehow get it solved. Temporary nature, ad hoc. So we frame, the final message is this. So taking all these into consideration, we frame a particular type of philosophy for us. Each one defines one's own philosophy based upon what God has given to us now. He has facilitated to absorb so many things. He has facilitated to observe, to go through certain experience. All put together, we frame it. My life shall be like this. My life should somehow become an offering to Him. That is the philosophy. My life should become an offering to Him. So I have to make myself fit. I should become eligible to offer myself to Him. I should free myself from all limitations. Kindly help me, please. I may fail, I may forget, only by your grace I can put myself on this path. This is our philosophy. Behind every thought, every word, every deed, you are there. Make me realize this. Make me to get over the clutches of me and mine. We should have a philosophy of life. We resort to philosophy to resolve our doubts. Lot of doubts come when we actually begin to live. A baby has no doubts. Slowly as it grows, problems come, doubts come, difficulties come. Then it seeks knowledge and more precise knowledge. And the wider the sphere of knowledge, the better a baby will be able to live. In this way, we can see human development going on from birth throughout life. The whole of experience is there to open up new avenues of thinking for us, provided the mind is active. If the mind becomes dead, we do the same thing again and again, nothing new will come to us. We should not be dead mentally. We have to freshen up our mind. That is a wonderful idea. Many people become dead mentally, sometimes very early in life. After a person becomes a householder with 1 or 2 children, we find that his or her mind has become dead. No further growth takes place. The remaining 30 or 40 years of life is only static life, nothing new. That is the best thing. Mind must live, be alive, creative. A zest must be there in the mind. That is the best thing we can do. Body gets older, it may die away, but why should the mind do likewise? That is the real meaning of the word Manushya. One whose mind is alert, creative, he or she is a human being, but one whose mind is in the body and in the belly, he or she is not a human being. That is animal in every sense of the term. We remember Chinmayanandaji during his discourse used to say about these 3: animal man, man, God man. When we are under the thrust of all down-pulling tendencies, animalistic tendencies, then we are on the level of animal man. When by His grace He makes us aware of all these and try to raise ourselves a little more higher than the level, then we become man level. Again by His grace, if we try to raise ourselves a little more higher, then we are on our way to God-man, and finally we may reach the God-man state. Outwardly we are all human beings, but we have to now check up whether we are raising. So that is why here he says we should have a philosophy of our life. Because we cannot act as somebody asked us to act. We have to act within the limitations given to us. Our svabhava is there, our gunas are there. But within that, just like yesterday, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that we have a freedom, like a cow that is tied to a pole. And he says, 30 feet suppose is the length of the wire, the rope. It has got freedom within the 30, It can choose anywhere within the radius of 30 feet. So God has given us this sense of freedom. Though ultimately everything is under His reign, He has given us a sense of individuality. Through the sense of individuality, He has given us a sense of freedom. So that is why we are learning, hearing, trying. Even after repeated failures, we are persevering, we are patiently trying. All these are because of the sense of freedom He has given to us. So we will make use of that 100%. If we don't make use of that, easily we become mentally dead. So this life, in this world, let us practice this. When we are young, that infinite Atman is my true nature. That divine is the nature of all others as well. We are all one in the divine that is within. All these things Papa has beautifully brought it out. Ideal of the ashram is to spread universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. Entire Geeta, entire Geeta Saramsha, he has put it in the word, based upon the vision of divinity in all, for which he gave us Ram Nam. So now we add, while we chant Ram Nam, whenever it is possible, we will add all these. I am chanting the name of one who is within me, who is making me to chant, and who is gradually making me to realize my total subservience to you, to him. And whatever work you allot to me, I should treat it. I am treating it as my work, but I should treat it as your work. Whatever words I speak, so far I have been thinking it is my words. Now I should know that it is your words. Like that, based upon the vision of divinity. Kindly help me. I want to do it. Kindly help me. If you always make me aware of your presence, that is enough. Nothing else I need. So kindly enable me to reach that stage. So the spiritual growth. என்னது? அது 12. நம்ம இப்போ சொல்றதுல கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணுமே. இதாக்கி நமக்குள்ள ப்ராப்ளம். Let us concentrate on Arjuna's words. Again, mind எங்கேயோ ஓடிடுறது இல்லையா? ஆமாம். எனக்கு I must be able to say as Arjuna said. அப்படின்னு அதில் கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணுறோம். நஷ்டோ மோக ஸ்மிருதிர் லப்தோ தத் பிரசாதான் மயாச்சுதா. அது எனக்கு ஓர்ம வரணுமே. அது ஓர்ம வந்தா இப்போது நீ அங்கே இருக்கான்னு எனக்கு ஓர்ம வந்தால் இந்த சொன்ன அர்த்தம் இல்லை. அது வருமே 12வது அத்தியாயத்தை சொன்னது மாதிரிமே. I will not put a label as Shitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu, Shatru, Mitram. All those things they are all mere labels. Labels pasted by me, based upon my biased attitude, my limited attitude. Suppose I feel that you have given me, you made me to get in touch with, you made me to go through this particular experience through that particular individual. Then I will not be able to put the label on him as whether he is a Shatru or Mitra. All are Mitra only because he always says Suhrt, Suhrt, Suhrt. So anyway, coming back to Arjuna again. All this will come to us when we begin to seek for a philosophy of life like this Geeta. When doubts come, we will turn to that philosophy. Let us see how that works. So we read other books, read others' experience also. We ask that question, how did that other person face the problem? That is the expression of the scripture. What is the way? The way trodden by great minds. We can also tread that path. So we have examples before us to guide us. When a mind is alive and active, it takes a nourishment from every experience. But it must be a live mind. If a plant is alive, it will take nourishment from the soil and the air. If it is dead, it doesn't take anything. A human mind is just the same. So Arjuna is telling what is the function of philosophy? To remove doubts and confusion. To give us a definite line of action. That is what philosophy does to us. It does not do anything more. It is a light to show us the path. The rest is our own movement. Where from comes this light? From our own inner self. With that we start on our journey. We then go on and on and on. Whenever doubts come, we turn to this philosophy. Like a lamb, we hold it to find our way through a thicket, through a difficult path. Arjuna had that experience. So Krishna has presented him with the philosophy of life. Remember, it is not a philosophy after life. So nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadat mayachyuta. A great teacher gives a great discourse. Students receive it, get a great blessing out of it. Their doubts are removed. How much we respect of such a teacher? He or she has given us the greatest respect. Knowledge is the greatest gift according to our literature. Yesterday, night, somebody brought and showed us a video. Very touching video. Yesterday was 31st, today is 31st. Achha. Now, the academic year is over, so many teachers would have retired. So one teacher in Karnataka, he was given a farewell. After that, he's taking leave. Very touching. Live, somebody was kind enough to take it. Colleagues were, they were in tears. And at the end, all boys and girls, they were weeping, openly. We are not talking about the teachers of our school days. Late 50s, we have finished our school days. So we used to feel that. Even today we remember them. Then we thought, it is not there. But in 2023, day before yesterday, somebody saw this, Very touching scene. Very touching scene. What an impact the teacher had made in the minds of students, in the minds of colleagues, It was difficult for him to free himself from them. Of course, the person who showed me said, how many teachers are like this, God alone knows. But still the hope is there. There are teachers. So why we remembered, he says, a human mind is just like this, to give us a definite line of action. That is what philosophy does to us. It does not do anything more. It is a light to show the path. The rest is our own movement. Where from comes the light? From our own inner self. So students receive it, get a great blessing out of it. Their doubts are removed. How much we respect such a teacher. That's why we remember. He or she has given us the greatest gift. If all of you see that, you will go back to your school days. Some teachers will be there in your mind who has touched your heart. And then that will definitely, renew, revive so many things in us. If a person wants to give a small packet of money or knowledge, a good person will choose knowledge, not money. Money comes and goes. Tomorrow it will all be finished. Knowledge will make us live a better life, a still better life. Knowledge is more important than getting a small amount of money. Knowledge is the supreme wealth. Vidyadhanam sarvadana pradhanam. So no amount of wealth can equal to the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of wisdom. That is what Arjuna got from Sri Krishna. Wisdom, how to conduct oneself in this difficult situation, how to negotiate one's life through all these difficult situations. So he says, I am steady, my doubts are gone. I shall follow what line you have chosen for me. I fully accept it with understanding, not merely because you said so. I understand and therefore I follow your direction. Not because you said. You have asked me to go deep within and find an inner alignment with what you said. That is why I say, I will do what exactly you like, what you want me to do. I fully accept it with understanding, not merely because you said so. I understand, therefore I follow your direction. Sri Krishna does not want a mere mute follower. He wants intelligent followers. The greater the teacher, the greater is the freedom given to the student to think for oneself. The smaller the teacher, the less the freedom. We have then to follow simply what the teacher tells us. Sri Ramakrishna compares teachers to certain types of snakes, water snake and the cobra. He says in the Gospel, one day as I was passing the Panchavati on my way to Pine Grove, I heard a bullfrog croaking. I thought it must have been seized by a snake. After some time I was coming back. I could still hear it terrified. I looked to see what was the matter. I found that the water snake had seized it. The snake would neither swallow nor it give it up. So there was no end to the frog's suffering. Similar is the case of a guru and a disciple. If the disciple is quite intelligent, quite strong, the guru, very ordinary, the guru has caught hold of such a disciple, and both will be in trouble. Then he said, I thought that it had been seized by a cobra. It would have been silenced after 3 croaks at the most. All problems would have been solved. That is the nature of a guru who gives us freedom to live according to our own understanding in the light of the knowledge we have gained. This we have to know. I thought, no, that is the nature of the guru who gives freedom to live according to our own understanding in the light of the knowledge we have gained. So that is what Sri Krishna was. That is what Shankaracharya was. That is what Ramakrishna was. What tremendous freedom comes to us among these spiritual teaching. Freedom is essential for human growth. Vedanta constantly emphasizes this point. So having said this, the actual dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends here. In the remaining verses, neither Arjuna nor Sri Krishna speaks, but the man who reported all this, Sanjaya, has something to say. And the Geeta ends with those few verses uttered by Sanjaya. We saw the Sanjaya coming into the picture when we studied the first chapter of the Geeta. Dhritarashtra, the blind king, was sitting in the palace in Hastinapura near Delhi, about 100 miles away. The Kurukshetra war was about to begin. This blind king wanted to know what was going on in the battlefield. The great sage Vyasa comes on the scene, gives to Sanjaya the power to visualize what was going on in Kurukshetra, though he was sitting in Hastinapura before the blind king. The Divya Drishti was given to Sanjaya, so he could see without any modern television. Purely from mind alone, he could manage to give that kind of a reporting, and the whole thing is a report by Sanjaya. So the book began with Dhritarashtra's question, what happened on the battlefield? What happened to the war between my children and the Pandavas? And he never questions anymore. Then Sanjaya answers. Now in the concluding portion, Sanjaya tells Dhritarashtra in the palace what he wanted to say, something very beautiful. He says, I have heard the wonderful dialogue between Krishna and Partha, causing my hair to stand on end. Through the grace of Vyasa, have I heard the supreme and most profound yoga directly from Krishna, the Lord of Yoga himself, declaring it. O King, I repeatedly remember this wonderful and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. I rejoice it again and again. And as I remember that most wonderful form of Hari, great is my wonder, I rejoice again and again. And finally, the concluding one. Wherever is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, where is Partha, the wielder of the bow, there are prosperity, victory, welfare, constant justice. Such is my conviction. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijayor Bhutir, Dhruv Nitir my mama. So this is the final ending. So wherever there is Krishna, whenever I remember Krishna, when I become a receptive disciple, like a reflective, a contemplative, a receptive dialogue like Arjuna, there what is the result? There will be only prosperity, victory, welfare, and constant justice. So this is how the song Celestial comes to a close. Let us try to take as much as possible. Pray to him. When he has facilitated us this much, we don't have to doubt that he will not take us forward. He will take us forward. Every now and then we remember the receptive attitude of Arjuna, the contemplative and reflective attitude of Arjuna, and the ever-present Lord Krishna in us. In spite of our indifference, in spite of our absence of commitment. He still continues to be with us, na? So he still continues to guide us in so many ways. So we don't have to feel dispirited. We should always feel, we can be optimistic that one day he will take us to unto himself. So we keep on praying for his grace, praying for his remembrance. Let this be in our mind, imprinted in our heart. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Ram. Hari Om.
Financial year ending and 18th chapter ending same day.
So what does our balance sheet show now? Is there an asset? Income and expenditure account. Lot of income is there now. It can be, so the income should be converted into an asset. Not. Hari Om. Ram, Ram.
They are talking among themselves now. Jayanti and
Pranam to all. Thank you. Pranam to all. Pranam. Pranam.
you can go to YouTube and type Anandashram Kanhangad or shooting on the
It's like a channel.
It's a channel.
So you can watch them.
Yeah, every day it's the past one.
Okay.
I think the previous ones also.
Yeah, everything will come. Or you just put it. This or this, it will come.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Thank you
Even
so
the
much.
previous also.
Thank you. Thank you.